Brother Ali, I think you're muted.
Thank you. We understand from the verse 144 that God is telling to Moses, "O Moses, I have chosen you above all people by virtue of the messages." So we try to understand it. Now, for me, my Creator is telling me that if you want to be a chosen or a better person, this is the only way. You have to get the message and assimilate it within yourself and live by it. That is the way you can become a chosen person among others. Otherwise, I cannot be chosen if I don't get the message, because by virtue of the message, I will be chosen. Otherwise, it is not that Allah has chosen me and gave me or blessed me with his message, but if I assume it on me and assimilate the message, the meaning of the message within myself, of course, we understand the message in this context, both messages. First, the message of the speech of my Creator, guidance. The second, the message that the creation reveals to me. That is what the Quran presents the word message in this context. That's how it presents the message in this context, in this word. So we have to understand that if I want to be a chosen person, if I want to be a chosen person, if I want to be a better person, it is better to pay attention to the world around me and also look for an explanation what all these words and my existence mean to me. And then if I found them meaningful, which is necessarily meaningful, we cannot say, no, it is not really meaningful. So if I found them meaningful, then I will try to assimilate it within me, because after assimilating within me, I will be a different person in my feelings. Otherwise, I will act on my feelings as I want, according to my free choice, without any guidance. It means whatever comes to my mind, I will do it. Now, it is not the way of, according to the teachings of the Quran, it is not the way of becoming a virtuous person who will be elevated in his status as a human being, rather than remaining as an animate being. Because if I do whatever comes to my mind, I think the animals can do better, because we see that they have no choice. So they choose the best way for themselves. That is the best way for themselves. But because I have the free choice, and if I don't utilize my free choice by following a guidance, what I will do, I will just live on a random base, worse than an animal. So it is very, very important that we have to take lesson Of course, there's another way of understanding that if I follow my feelings by being an arrogant man, we will study this in the following verses, saying that I'm not going to obey anyone in my life or follow anyone in my life. Why? Because why should I? I can do whatever I want as if I am not sent by a conscious being to this world. And assuming that I randomly happen, that is the worst situation that a man can be, because arrogant, the distorting my reality. That is a big responsibility. May God prevent us from falling into this mistake. So we call it very simple, in a very simple language. I should not make a decision on egotistic tendencies. That is what I have to be careful about, inshallah. So if you want to be a virtuous person, there is only one way. Follow the messages in the universe, in the speech of the Creator, guiding speech of the Creator, and see the consistency within my feelings as well, and make decisions accordingly. So you will be elevated by virtue of the messages, which I have entrusted to you. Yes, we may say, or one may say that really has God entrusted to me any message. I'm not a prophet. No, I mean, this text, the Quran, or this sentences are or were entrusted to the prophet. He conveyed them to us, so we can understand that. I'm not as if received the revelation, but I received the revelation as it is available in my hand. So I can say it is entrusted to me. It means it is presented to me now. But this is only the speech side of the messages. The universe is there, entrusted to me. I can interpret it, benefit from it. And my feelings are within me as I am created. All my feelings are entrusted to me. But the language also is presented to me, entrusted to me by my creator, because I am now finding myself in front of the message. So, فَخُذْ مَا آتَيْتُكَ وَكُنْ مِنَ الشَّاكِرِينَ. So, I'm sorry. I missed one point. وَكَلَامِي, risale-i وَكَلَامِي. Then I have entrusted to you by virtue of my speaking to you, which is also included in our understanding that we have to benefit from the messages and the speech of the Creator. Yeah, we have included the meaning into the previous discussions. So hold on to what, فَخُذْ مَا آتَيْتُكَ. Hold on to what I have given you. That is the advice. Whether I choose to hold on to what I have been given, or I ignored it. There are many examples of those people who are taking these messages seriously, those people who are distorting the messages in many ways, especially the messages through the creation and messages from, I think this age is the age of distorting the messages from the creation. That is the real disease of this century. Distorting the messages from within ourselves, less, much less, because many people we see that they are good people. The human beings are good people in general, really. I believe that. Why? Because they don't distort the message within themselves. They know it is good. They know this is bad. That is given. And not many people really go against it. Although they may not really practice it, but they know that this is good, this is bad, and they try to be good and bad. But sometimes, in exceptional cases, some people may be arrogant. We know that from our practical life. There is no need to talk about it. So hold on to what I have given to you. And most of the people do that. But again, most of the people are not aware of the speech of the Creator. In this respect, of course, they need to be informed. By whom? Of course, by us. If the people in the world, if there are billions of people in the world who have never heard the Quran, the speech of our Creator, shame on us, shame on me. I didn't do my job. I didn't convey it to the people who are not aware of even the existence of the Quran. But you may say, look, in the media, everybody knows that there is a religion which is called Islam. Okay. Do you know there is a religion which is called Hinduism? Yeah. Have you read Vedas? No. Why? I haven't been introduced in a way that attracts my attention. Now I understand. That is why I'm not aware of Vedas, the Vedas. So the people are not even heard, they might have heard the Quran and religion of Islam. It is not introduced to them. There are levels of introduction. Just hearing the name of a religion which is called Islam is not introducing the message to them. Of course, we have to be realistic. We know that it is not what the mission should be done, how the mission should be done. Introduce it by way of our exemplary life, speaking to them kindly, or letting them know in many ways, so they will be aware of there is such a thing in the world, many ways. So we have to try our best to spread it. Okay. So that وَكُمْ مِنَ الشَّاكِرِينَ. Of course, we have to understand that being grateful, this is also important, being grateful. What does it mean? If I receive something valuable, and if I throw it away without utilizing it, benefiting from it, am I being grateful? Even I say thank you. Am I being grateful? For example, now, practical example, simple practical example. I am eating something which we understand, oh, this is really important. So food means a lot for me. So I'm giving the example from it. Yes, I say, thank you, you gave me. But while I am eating, I didn't appreciate the message through the food I am having. I didn't pay attention to it. Just I said, Bismillah, if I said, mention the name of the Creator before starting it. But while I'm eating it, I just talked about the food itself and something else. Didn't pay attention. The message the food conveys to me. Am I being thankful? No. So I have to be thankful for the message by learning it, assimilating it within myself, and practicing it. In all the messages, the universe, looking at the universe, learning every day a new universe is presented to us. Looking at it, understanding it, the message in it, and assimilating it within my feelings. That is being thankful, grateful. Inshallah, the Quran reminds us that not only take the message and finish, no, turn it into being grateful. Inshallah. Inshallah, we will do that. So, following verse, وَكَتَبْنَا لَهُ فِي الْأَلْوَاحِ مِنْ كُلِّ شَيْءٍ مَوْعِظَةً وَتَفْصِيلًا لِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ. We inscribed the fundamentals of everything for him in the tablets, which taught and clearly explained everything. Now, we have Torah today as a lot, much larger than the Quran. What we should understand, it bothers me a lot, tablets and some written things on the table or on a piece of stone or something. How, there must be a mountain of pieces of stone in order to include all the Torah that is available now. And how Moses is going to carry it. How Moses, when he is disappointed with his people, will throw it and break it. I am very much confident or satisfied with the idea that the tablet, al-Wah, is not necessarily that Moses is given some stones at that time. There was no paper, maybe, and something written on it, and found that it must be something metaphorical. I mean, otherwise, it has no practical benefit for me. So Moses was given some tablets. I'm sorry, I haven't received any tablet yet. In another part of the Quran also, the arrogant people arguing against the prophetic message and challenging the prophet, saying that bring the book with you, coming from the sky or somewhere from God, and this book must be physically there, rather than coming to us and telling us that I have received the message when 2 hours ago or when I was in the house. I haven't seen it. So they want a physical thing. That is why the Quran, that is how the Quran blames these people. What are they talking about? Are they nonsense? Don't they understand from the speech? And don't they really study the content of the speech? What are they talking about? In another part of the Quran, this argument goes on there, and we can understand that the tablets should not be in the form of a physical being, but some sort of receiving something which is easy to read, understand, communicate with, something like that. For example, I can say the tablets, my Musaf here, for example, this one. It is the tablet. Here it is for me. Another person says, no, it is the tablet on my iPhone. Yeah, or that there's a chip there, or whatever it's called. I don't know the technical words for it. Well, it is recorded there. That is my tablet. I don't know what Moses received, how Moses received, none of my business. That is Moses' business. And he took it and distributed to his people. And definitely there is a religion which is called Judaism, and they said this is the Torah that Moses received. So they must have received it in one way or another. None of my business. And my business is now reading this message and seeing that, have I received the tablet? Yeah, the Musaf is with me. When I received the tablet, did I receive the tablet? Yes, the Hafiz, the person who memorized the Quran, recited it to me. That is my tablet. That's how I could solve my problem. Otherwise, by reading it literally doesn't communicate anything to me. Well, that is, I love speaking frankly. That's how I felt. If you have any other suggestions, I love to hear it. Anytime you want, you go ahead. Otherwise, I will carry on, but you can interrupt me. I will be happy. So, well, we inscribed the fundamentals of everything for him in the tablet because this bracket, the fundamentals, why the translator preferred this, because we inscribed everything in the world. This is just 600 pages altogether, and the small pages actually, with the big letters. So if you write it in the ordinary book form, it will become 200 or 250 pages. Everything explained. No, we have to be practical. The principles of understanding, principles of interpreting the things in the universe, within me, etc., are the guidelines, maybe inscribe the guidelines of everything, guidelines of understanding the reality of everything. I would prefer to understand this verse in this way. The guidelines of understanding the reality of everything for him in one way or another, through a physical meaning, you will receive it, either in the form of digital form or in a printed paper form or recitation, you will receive it. So we received it, which taught and clearly explained everything again. The reality of everything clearly explained the reality of everything so that you can comfortably communicate with it and get the message from it, right? Oh, sorry, I made a mistake. Okay. And sorry, let's go on. فخذها بقوة, hold on to them powerfully, firmly. It means follow the guidelines in all the messages carefully, strongly. It means not loosely. Look at it. Oh, the word looks really beautiful. I like it. Enjoyable. Oh, food really is delicious. What does it mean? Think about it. Be serious about it. I would understand this. Hold on to it. بقوة, with powerfully. Hold on to them. Really take it seriously. With all your strength. These are my understanding and putting it in my simple language. I'm not saying these verses mean only what I said. No, I'm just understanding, and for the moment I'm benefiting from it so that it will make sense to me and I will be satisfied with it. Hold on to them with all your strength, and let's read now. وَأْمُرْ قَوْمِكَ يَأْخُذُوا بِأَحْسَنِهَا سَأُرِيكُمْ دَارَ الْفَاسِقِينَ. So hold on to them with all your strength and tell your people, hold on to them with your whole strength. That's what we covered. Tell your people to hold fast to those most excellent things. The translation, hold fast. I've seen the hand. Don't worry. I mean, I respect it. Hold on to them with your whole strength and tell your people to hold fast to those most excellent things, in bracket, the best of it. What does it mean? أحسنها, in fact, means the best of it. This most excellent teaching is the interpretation. I cannot do this in this page. Sorry. Otherwise, I would say, take into bracket this one, those most excellent teachings in bracket, and leave this rest of it is the meaning, the best of it, the best of it. Now, please, if I forget, remind me, what does the best of it mean? بأحسنها, the best of it. What does it mean for me? But I respect our friend who is raising his hand. Please go ahead, Afshan.
So I'm Dr. Murmur, I understand that the tablet is not physical. It's referring to the message. However, when I see tablet, I do think of like 10 commandments, not like the scripture. So, when they say the fundamentals, like just the essential teachings. So that's what I was confused about, like, is it a reference particular to any scripture received or 10 commandments, or does it not matter?
Doesn't matter. Thank you. Thank you, sharing your feeling. This is what most of the rabbis or rabbinic interpretation of course, they have this concept as well. So rabbinic interpretation of this word, 10 tablets, because as I said, if all Torah was revealed on stones that time, maybe only the available means, it would make a mountain. So it is not important. It is not impossible. I understand that. That's why they interpret it in this way, reduce it to 10 commands. But Torah doesn't consist of 10 commands. First of all, even it is 10 commands, what does it mean? A stone falling down from the sky and written 10 commands on it. What does it mean? As far as I am concerned, in my living standards here in the 21st century, I can only understand within the conditions of my life and conclude easily, I have received through some physical means. For example, 100 years ago, there was no means of digital transformation of the message. Now it is. I don't know what will happen 200 years later. It is so rapidly. Really, it may be an image, something like that. People will say that, okay, recite a verse to me, speaking something in the air. You never know what will happen. You know, this kind of exploration of the universe and the way the things are created is in an amazing way that we can discover from the order of the universe something which we could never imagine before. Human mind could never imagine before. So these are the tablets of each age different. So before the digital age, only papers were possible. And even the prophet's time, it was only the camel skins. Mostly the camel skins were used for it. That was the way to write something in that time. That the historians tell me. I don't know the reality. I know the reality in my life. So it is a way of explaining it and still being literalist, saying that the tablet means really a physical thing came down. Maybe in some form of physical appearance of the message that the Moses received, I cannot imagine it. And it is not my real problem. Okay. Practically. Whatever it is, I learned that it was stone. No, even I learned that it was paper. Maybe ancient paper. Maybe. I don't know. If I learn it, what benefit should I get from it? I don't know. So I'll come back to the best. يأخذوا بأحسنها. In the message, there are something better than the others. How can I understand this? Now, let's apply it to the Quran, because it is written in the Quran and I'm reading the Quran now. As if the Quran is saying, read the بأحسنها, read me, the بأحسنها, the best of me. Whatever answers, that's what I'm sharing my understanding, personal understanding. Whatever the message cures me, guides me, according to the subject that I am interested in now. This is the best of it for me. I pay attention to this, relevant to my practical life. So I can get guidance from it and it makes sense to me and I can benefit from it. But there are others, but now I need this one. For example, hungry man needs food. Thirsty man needs water. So if you present all of them in front of this person, whatever he or she needs, this is the best. I chose, I'm very thirsty, water. That is what I'm choosing. That's how I understand the most relevant verse to my practical questions that I need to get an answer to it. So I'm interested in the answer to my questions now, my expectations now. So I am full, but I don't have enough clothes on me to protect myself from the cold. Now, cold weather. The best is clothes for me now. Food is in front of me. No, I'm full. I don't feel hungry. I am cold. I need clothes on my body. So if another person is in the same position, here are some clothes and here are some foods presented on the table. This person is hungry and this person doesn't need clothes. What do? Go to the food, the best of it. That's what we should do it. Okay. I think it is understood, at least I understood it. If it is not, please speak up. سأريكم دار الفاسقين, and I will show you the end of those who rebel. Yeah. Have you seen those people who don't really follow the message and rebel against the message? There are, of course, two kinds of people. Fasiq is different from those people don't know. They are indifferent. They are not aware of what the message is. They are not really rejecting it as well. So those people seems to be comfortable, who are not really interested in anything. They are not rejecting. They are not rebelling. Use the translator's word here. But those people who really reject it, go and see them. Go and see their feelings, what is going on within them. Full of hatred, anger, unhappy, furious rejections, and as if they are really satisfying themselves by reacting it. Not a calm personality. That's what I see them. But somehow aggressive, loves argumentation, rejection. That is what they don't feel comfortable. They don't speak calmly. They are fighting because something is boiling within them. Seems to be correct. But how can I make an excuse to reject it? Full of things are going on within themselves. That is what I understood this. And also, somehow, to a certain extent, I'm experiencing it with other people. And also within myself. Within myself. You may say that it is speculation about other people. How would you know what is going on in one's feelings? And feelings, sometimes appears in people's, not sometimes, mostly appears in people's actions. That is also understandable, one side of it. Within myself, you can see physical appearances and actions, aggressive talk, and being nervous always, critical. You can see them. Something is going on within their spiritual world, within their feeling. As far as you and me are concerned, we can experience within ourselves. Now, We are aware of the truth, but for some reason, anger or having a certain agenda behind my mind, etc., expectation of something strange, etc. Well, I rebel the reality that I am aware of. If I'm not aware of the reality, I will be comfortable. But I know I shouldn't do it, but I've done it. I think in some parts of your life, you must have experienced this. You are angry and just took an extreme attitude against your, I don't know, wife, husband, your children, your neighbor, your colleague, etc. What you say? I shouldn't have done it. I do that on many times, every day. I shouldn't have said this. I shouldn't do this. I shouldn't have these feelings towards this person, that person, or towards something fısık, which is called fısık, this boiling feelings within me. I feel the disturbance within me. So I understand that if I reject the truth, if it happens to me, can you imagine a person explains and bases his existence against the reality of himself or herself, saying, I don't have any creator, I am an accidental being in the world, meaninglessly happen to be like this. You can imagine this person, what is going on within his heart. Then you understand the end of those who rebel. Okay? Shall we move on? Or do you have anything to share with me or with our friends here? سأصرف عن آيات الذين يتكبرون في الأرض بغير الحق. Of course, that is important, بغير الحق. So I will turn away from my signs, those who act unjustly with arrogance in the land. Now, God is turning away. God is still speaking. Yeah. God is turning away from his signs, those who act unjustly with arrogance in the land. So, what is the condition? God is taking away from his son, from his signs. Those people will be left with nothing because they act unjustly with arrogance. Now, it is obvious from the verse that because I acted unjustly with arrogance, that is why God says, I will turn away from his signs. So you understand, not because God turned away from his signs, so those people who act unjustly with arrogance in the land, fil ard, in the land, and that is why they are unbelievers. No, that's what we have to understand. I find this, and I shared this with you earlier on, as far as I remember, the psychology of denial. Not because God deprived them of his messages, because they were arrogant. As a result of arrogance, acting unjustly, God is letting me know that by doing this, you will be depriving yourself of my signs. That is my rule of creation. So you will end up with this. If you cut yourself, and then that is the rule of the creation of this world, you will feel pain. So God is, as a result of his mercy, letting us know that don't be arrogant. Don't act unjustly. Otherwise, you will not benefit from my signs, from God's signs. That is, I have to, my responsibility is not to be arrogant and not to act unjustly. بغير حق, بغير الحق. Not to act unjustly. I think it is understood. That is why all other verses of the Quran who say that I put a stamp on the heart of man, on the eye of human beings, and eyesights and hearings, put a stamp and they will never receive the message. The same psychology of denial must be applied there too. This is the order of the universe, and he is telling us, letting us know, this is the order. If you are like this, you will never be able to understand the reality of the message in any ways, within you, within universe, within this speech, guiding speech. Now, let's say the Quran. You will never get it. That's understood. Inshallah, we talked about it a lot. It is very important. And also Quran explains in here and there this matter on the same line as far as I understand. So we should not really be carried away by the arguments against the Quran saying or against God. If God misguides me, I cannot choose guidance. So I found myself as the Quran describes, misguided. It means not believing in God. That is what God made me. It is a stupid, meaningless, baseless argument. But if you read the Quran literally, that is how you will end up with. That is why we cannot read the Quran literally. Every century, every person will have some sort of space in the Quran, so really related to his life. That is how the Quran should be read for myself. But I cannot say this is the only meaning. Of course not. It is impossible. There are 6-something billion people. So the same Quran speaks to more than 6 billion people at the same time. It is inevitable that it should be understood, not literally at all. It cannot be a frozen message. Impossible. It must always be available to be interpreted according to the needs of the person, but not arbitrarily. Depends on them. If they do it arbitrarily, twist the meaning, but the responsibility is rest on them. That is their business. I have to take my own responsibility, try to act justly. It means not distort the meaning in creation, meaning in my feelings, and deliberately twist the meaning that I get the message in a normal, natural way, if you like, as I am created. And I should never say, claim to be a super person. I don't need anyone to give me guidance. So I shouldn't be arrogant. Okay. وإن يروا كل آية لا يؤمنوا بها. Okay. Even if they were to see every sign, they still wouldn't believe in them. Why? They closed the door. Arrogance and acting unjustly is closing the door. I felt now, that's my feeling. If you don't agree, please let me know. That we didn't really try to understand what acting unjustly means. What does it mean? Of course, we understand in practical terms, acting unjustly, for example, cheating somebody and deciding or making a decision about some people, although they don't deserve something, but I say they deserve this. Unjust attitude, unjust behavior. This is true, but it is very, very limited meaning of understanding unjust, acting unjustly, being unjust. I understand, for example, looking at a creature, or looking at a being, and saying, this being is randomly happened to be as it is now, developed by itself. Look at this squirrel here. The squirrel, it was lucky by chance. It became a squirrel rather than becoming I don't know, a piece of stone. Is it really acting justly? That is the most important action of the example of the action of being unjust. Really insulting the message in the creation of the squirrel. That is what we should understand. For example, the Quran has reached us. It is available in my hand. I am reading it, or I am putting it, extreme example. I am putting the Quran in a very high position in the house, in my house, and respecting the Quran, not touching it without my wudu. Yep. All right. But never really paying attention to what he says, never really practicing in my life, try to practice in my life at least what he says, try to understand it. Am I doing justice to the Musaf that I respected? Sometimes I used to make a joke and people felt somehow puzzled. Those people who live in apartment complex or multiple layers, buildings, let's say here on the first floor, and there is a second floor. I put the book, the Quran, the Musaf, on very high position in my house. I said, it's a joke, it's a joke. No, a kind of really trying to draw people's attention what they are doing to the book. I said, there are some people on the second floor and they are stepping on the Musaf because the Musaf is under their feet. I was joking. It means this is not the way of respecting the Musaf. Take it, man. Have it in your hand and try to understand by using human quality. So Well, this cultural religion is really horrible. So it really puts people away from religion. Anyway, we have to be careful. So even if they were to see every sign, they still wouldn't believe in them because they closed the door. Maybe the outside is so bright, sunny, but I closed my eyes. That's it. Everything is in me, my friends. Everything is in me. The stamp is in me. I don't know. God's misguidance is in me. Don't blame God. This is the way I am created. I have to pay attention to it. So if they see the right path, they will not take it. Oh, okay. وإن يروا سبيل الرشد لا يتخذوه سبيلا. Okay. وإن يروا سبيل الغي يتخذوه سبيلا. So it's very good. If they see the right path, they will not take it. But if they see the crooked غي going into deep, dark, meaninglessness, the kind of غي means this crooked path, which takes you away from the path and taking you into an, I don't know, muddy place and meaningless area, they will follow. They like it. Why? In that area, there is no super being or any creator, any being above them, so that they will be respectful, they will be thankful, grateful to them, and say, look, you are guiding me, you are creating me, you are giving me the guidance. Of course, accepting something for an above himself, for an arrogant being, and interpreting everything in an unjust way, it is impossible. That is the result of the attitude of being arrogant. This is because they denied. That's it. Exactly. Let's read it. ذلك بأنهم كذبوا بآياتنا وكانوا عنها غافلين. That is because they denied our signs. Actually not really كذبوا, it means they kept denying. Because they kept denying our signs. Of course, you may ignore once, that is human, twice, that is human, but always turning away from the signs and trying to escape the facing the reality with the signs are saying that the universe is saying, I'm meaningful, I'm done by a conscious being. You cannot reduce me to a simple being. So really, these people deny this and were heedless of them. Ghafil, not really taking it seriously. Even they may not deny it, but they don't take it seriously. Well, we have to be very careful. Let's finish this. I know the time is up, and really up. And inshallah, we have some time in New York for iftar. So, وَالَّذِينَ كَذَّبُوا بِآيَاتِنَا وَلِقَاءِ الْآخِرَةِ حَبِطَتْ أَعْمَالُهُم. Okay, the deeds of those who deny our signs and the meaning of the hereafter will be in vain. It means, let's say, if I take an attitude of denying our signs, it means really not taking notes of it and trying to interpret it in a high way. For example, explaining the universe as the result of accidental natural things. What is nature? A ghai. It means you sunk into it and become a meaningless being. That's why these people who interpret the creation as nature, they are really turning the universe in a meaningless, dark, no hope, no source of hope at all being. That is denying the signs. in the creation, because nowadays we have to understand the real denial of science is going on in denying the reality of the message that the universe is conveying to us, taking place in there. Not the Quran, not human feelings, primarily in the universe is going on, the interpretation of everybody is becoming really materialist, naturalist, whether they may not identify themselves, I am a materialist, doesn't matter, but their understanding of the world is materialist. Maybe, but most probably. I'm not pinpointing to any person. What is going on in this world is secularist understanding of the universe. Therefore, it comes to secularist way of life of human beings. Therefore, the Quran becomes a men's production. Maybe a very clever men's production. They all go on the same line. So denying our science. But we have to be very careful. It starts from the universe. Then they deny the hereafter because if they don't see what the universe, what human reality, feelings, and what the Quran is saying, that we are created by a supreme being who is absolute. So if someone, that's one thing that I would like to share with you that excites me. If someone cannot believe in the absolute being, there is no way for this man to believe in the hereafter. But means to believe in the hereafter is not because we believe in God. No, that is something else. Even if somebody believes in the Creator, still he may not believe in the hereafter. But the main reason of not believing in the hereafter lies in not believing in absoluteness of the Creator. Not only that, the universe must have a creator, but I don't know why he did it. Maybe if some sarcastic people say he was bored and created the universe, I don't know what's going on, none of my business. Now, that is something else. But they say they believe in God, not enough. No, not enough in order to believe in the hereafter. One has to see the signs and understand the creator of this universe must be an absolute being, and then come then. All right. How can I believe in the hereafter is another matter. But without going through the first stage, you cannot talk about the hereafter. So if someone argues against your belief and says that, do you believe that we will be resurrected? You say, yes. Bring me what is the evidence? What's your reasoning? No, because of this, because of no. Starts from what do you think of this universe is all about? From there. And the creator must be absolute. If you reach this point and then go back to the main subject. Okay, our subject was hereafter. Let's see the creation. If we see the signs that this creator, this absolute being, can create, and in other words, must create, in other words, will create, in other words. There are three, but in fact four, but I don't remember the fourth element in it. At least three now came to my mind. So that is another subject. We should not really say that we believe in God, therefore God can create hereafter. Why? Have you seen any evidence for it? No, because we have to take it seriously that the 6 pillars whatever the pillars, depending on the method you follow. Some people say 6, some people 7, but doesn't matter really. Each article of belief needs its evidence independently, but some of them need a prior belief in something else, in another article. That is what hereafter. People confuse there. I believe in God, so God can create another world. Yes, he can. So why not? I believe in the hereafter. No, can create is not enough. Must create, will create, needs separate evidence from the universe, from my feeling, from the saying or the speech of the creator. Okay. وحبطت أعمالهم اوكي والذين كذبوا بآياتنا ولقاء الآخرة حبطت أعمالهم. They will be in vain, their deeds will be in vain. Because if you don't believe in the hereafter, all your work in this world, you know that it will go to nothing. At the end of the day, your balance will have 0, although there are big numbers entered into your account, and other numbers went out. At the end, you are left with 0 balance. Which kind of benefit you got it? When you die, everything finished in this world. All the deeds are finished. But if you got the meaning within your spirit, this spirit is educated with this meaning, so that you became elevated in your spirit. For example, ignorant people know nothing, but those people who educate themselves, work on it and learn something, and this knowledge that they learned remain with their spirit, not with their body. And death is only for the body. So we understand this, and we emphasize on the importance of this point in our discussion. Okay. Now, I'm hurrying, as you see. Of course, will they be rewarded except for what they have done? Of course. I cannot get anything done. So I wouldn't attend the class and listen to the professor, and I will say I learned. Why? How? It happened to be that it is within my knowledge. Impossible. The order of the universe never allows this. So we have to do something. So accordingly, it will be in my spirit. And my value, human value, will be elevated. It means my capacity, human capacity, will increase, inshallah. Very quickly, we covered 147 as well. Thank you very much for your patience. Look, let me see, 14 minutes. Please forgive me. Bismillah. I'm stopping if you don't have anything to say. Okay. Afshan said thank you. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم وآخر دعواهم أن الحمد لله رب العالمين. May Allah accept your prayers, fasting, everything. So next Tuesday may be the Eid day, but last day of the Eid, so maybe not. I don't know why I have to calculate it, but inshallah, next Monday, sorry, not Tuesday, Tuesday as well, inshallah.